Good evening and welcome to Poland Daily, the first English news program in Poland. I'm your host, Benjamin Lee. The European Commission announced that it will not revoke its complaint to the European Court of Justice about Poland, especially the Polish Supreme Court bill. The decision came after the Polish government passed an amendment to the Supreme Court bill allowing the judges who were recently forced to retire after the age of 65 to come back to their positions. The reinstating of justice was demanded by the European Court of Justice.
Despite the new amendment, the European Commission still intends to implement Article 7 on Poland for the alleged breaking of the rule of law in the country. The European Commission seems to simply can't let this go. The Polish side took actions which should have caused the EC to drop the complaint immediately. This only confirms what I've been saying for the past 2 years. Brussels is looking for reasons to undermine us. According to an MEP of the Freedom Party, Dobromir Sośnierz, the Law and Justice's first mistake was to introduce an unnecessary bill which gave the European Commission an excuse to go on an offensive. If the current government thinks that it can back down a little bit and all will be done, then its members must be really naive. The European Commission is on the hunt for the Law and Justice Party since it took Poland out of reach of the German influence. Germany is using the EU and the civic platform and modern parties to get back its influence in our country. Until it happens, they won't back off. If this excuse doesn't work, they'll find another. The rule of law in Poland will be discussed by the European ministers on December 11th. According to unofficial sources, the Court of Justice in Luxembourg may give its final decision concerning the suspension of the Polish Supreme Court bill by the end of this year.
During a concert in Mexico, the former singer of Pink Floyd, Roger Waters, projected inscription on a screen, voicing his detest to the Polish conservative leader, Jarosław Kaczynski. Politicians of the party fired back at the musician's little knowledge over matters and using it for PR purposes.
Resist Kaczynski in Poland demanded Pink Floyd co-founder Roger Waters during his concert in Mexico. This is not the first time a musician has manifested interest in the situation in Poland. During the August concert in Gdańsk, he projected the words "Konstytucja, Konstytucja." Our total opposition and the media are telling the unfavorable tale, and artists are using it for PR reasons. Krzysztof Karankowski brought to the attention that Waters has no gripes in sounding off about the dictatorial nature of Jarosław Kaczynski's so-called regime, but the artist is not sure whether Vladimir Putin is a dictator. Putin's name appeared with a question mark, and Roger Waters does not know whether Russian president can be counted as autocrat or not, but he has no doubts about Kaczynski and Israel. This is really peculiar. You can see on this example hypocrisy of our elites, who are deeply impressed that Roger Waters said a thing or two about Poland, and they miss the fact that the same musician is described in a context of anti-Semitism. Some Polish fans of Roger Waters are supporting his views, others think he went too far and does not comprehend what is going on in Poland.
Apple's co-founder and technology legend Steve Wozniak visited Poland last week. The industry legend attended the 100 for 100th conference created for the centenary of Poland regaining its independence by the Polish National Foundation. We spoke with the organization's chairman, Filip Rudzyński.
Why did you choose to include Steve Wozniak in your 100 for the 100th list? First and foremost, Steve Wozniak is a legend in the view of many. He is the co-founder of Apple, one of the world's biggest brands. Wozniak was the one who designed Apple I and Apple II, which are the reason we can all have computers in our homes. He is also a leader of startup projects. Now, Steve is inspiring new startups and engineers. Also, by associating with him, we are trying to grab the attention of people who might look at Poland as a country that is rich in startup companies. How does Steve Wozniak fit the aims and presuppositions of the 100 for the 100th project? Under the 100 for the 100th project, we wanted to invite people who are thought leaders. There is no bigger thought leader in the world of engineers and in the world of people interested in startups than Steve. The Woz is a legend in those fields, and he is essentially the creator of computers we use today. It is thanks to him that the computer technology entered households globally.
That's it for today. See you next time on Poland Daily. But stay tuned for the Poland Daily Weather Report.